Yeah, it's this one. This one. So I have been spinning and spinning and spinning and talking about the knitting that I'm going to do with all that spinning like for about 2 weeks now. And I have said it's going to be a cropped sweater, it's going to be a cable sweater, but why I never showed it to you on a medium that is quite show don't tell is beyond me. So let's start this vlog with showing what my plans are for the Shetland fleece. This one. This intricately cabled sweater. I first planned this one for my blue tassel last year, but I eventually made this orange one instead, but then in grey. The pattern is from this little magazine insert from, I guess, the late 80s or maybe the 90s. Fleece Trend Breiboek. And I just checked, and the pattern calls for 650 grams of pure laine, which was a yarn from Vildar. 650 grams, I don't think I'm there, but I guess my yarn is a little bit thinner. Yeah, according to Ravelry, pure laine was a DK weight yarn with that counted 108 meters per 50 grams. And mine was like around 400 meters per 150 grams, so yeah, it's slightly thinner. I'm still sticking to my plan. Now, of course, before we can stick to knitting plans, we have to stick to our spinning plans. And I must admit, I'm apparently quite a bit slower than last year, probably because my yarn is thinner than last year and thus takes a longer time to be spun. I hope it doesn't take all too long to get through this Shetland fleece because as I have said before, I'm so looking forward to the Zartless, and right now it's almost looking like I'm going to have 1 week of Zartless spinning only, and yeah, that's not as much as I had hoped that there would be. It often seems to be the case that the projects I knit from my Tour de Fleece yarn are then my most favorite projects of that year. And it's not entirely fair to think about it this way this year, because one of my Tour de Fleece projects was like my actual wedding cape. Like nothing can really beat that. But secondly, also my blue tassel sweater and the blue tassel cardigan, both are just so nice. Especially the sweater, I have been wearing that so often, summer, winter, autumn, spring, all of the time. It just feels so nice and looks so good. And well, that has a logic reason, of course. I don't always just spin up a sweater quantity of yarn, so a lot of the things that I make during the year are not made entirely out of handspun, and just knitting with handspun makes it that I like the project more. I don't know. Is this a case of I have been doing all the things of the project and therefore I like the project more, or is this a case of nothing actually beats handspun yarn? I'm leaning towards the second clause, like nothing beats handspun yarn, nothing beats a project with handspun yarn. So of course I'm hoping that this year again my projects after Tour de Fleece is done, will be my favorites of the year. If they aren't, it will not be because the yarn isn't absolutely amazing, because that already we know for at least one of the fleeces. This Shetland yarn is amazing, and whatever I shall knit with it will retain that amazing yarn quality, of course. Just had to shuffle inside because it has started raining. Luckily, the rain on the roof of the studio is like actually kind of very cozy. So, I have finished spinning the 7th bat. Now next to the 8th bat, which would make this final skein, I also have that one bat that I dubbed the equalizer bat. I've got two options right now. I could either already split that bat in two, spin it together with a 7th bat, or see how much my 7th and 8th bat come out on the bobbins and then equally like split them. That latter option would be the sensible thing to do. But I choose chaos. Whee! Also, while I have been spinning chunguses, I have not had any incident of bobbin chicken this Tour de Fleece. I feel like it's about time that I'm getting something close to bobbin chicken and like filling up these bobbins with 1.5 bats. I think that might just do the trick, right? The entire equalizer bat was dealt with, and I also started a little bit on the final bat of the Shetland. And I'm going to call it a night for today. I will see you tomorrow. But sadly, you will not be seeing my wheel. No, tomorrow is going to be another spindle day.
Ja.
Hey, it's late, it's 1/4 my bedtime, but I wanted to quickly stop and show you what? My butt, it fell. I wanted to quickly show you that I got yay far on my second Turkish ply on the fly spindle of one of Mars's bats, of which I have still this left over. When I put it, okay, no, first, little context. My monthly crafting get-together is in a local cafe, tea place, and there was a man eating next to me, and I took my bat out and he said, well, looks like your cat has been into a freak accident. Just deadpan. He should be a stand-up comedian because it was actually funny. I did not feel offended. I also texted Mars it and they were also laughing. My cat has been in a freak accident. I'll see you tomorrow. honestly think it's pretty rude that my day job is taking so much time of a day away from me to spin. Like, why does it do that? Like, it's already 6:45, once again, on a working day. Why would a full-time job do that? It's so rude, actually. Anyway, whatever time I have left in the day, I shall spin. For I really want to start on the Zartless next week. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to keep repeating it because there's so much anticipation for the Zartless. Like, and I know you feel it too, because there have been people telling me, I don't know if this was jokingly, but that there is a Zartless shortage in some shops purely right now around Tour de Fleece, apparently because I have hyped it up too much. Well, I don't think you can hype up Zartless too much. So I did hype up myself a lot, and now I'm like patiently awaiting the moment that I can start. But first, Shetland. Just to confirm that there is a shortage of Zartless in some areas, a tally in the comment section how many of you are actually spinning Zartless during Tour de Fleece or are still planning on spinning Zartless during Tour de Fleece. And if you are currently spinning it or already have spun it, the hype is real, right? Tell me the hype is real. There were actually quite a bit of people who wanted to know how my handspun hand knits have held up over time. And I don't know how I should read those questions. Like, are you an unbeliever that handspun yarn is as durable as commercial yarn? Or, like, completely opposite of that, do you also believe that handspun is actually magic and thus you give it paranormal qualities? Well, I must say, of course, it has no paranormal qualities. And I'll show you. Yes, I am wearing handspun woolen socks when it is 30 degrees outside. It breathes, it's good for my feet. But you can see, especially on the heel, that, yeah, it has felted. They do felt. Like, it's wool. Like, it's kind of magic, but also not actually magic. They will felt. Like, I have some of my vests that have felted here, or vests and sweaters that have felted here underneath the armpit from all the, you know, movements that I make. That just happens. That is part of wearing wool garments that haven't been treated by a plastic coating on every fiber, or have plastic in them, or have been blended with something else. My socks are pure wool. I don't think even that I spun them as a 3-ply, as is advisable for socks. Those are a 2-ply. I made those, I think, in 2022 or 2023. Yeah, the soles have felted, but good socks, very good socks. I like them. I like wearing them, even, as I said, in 30 degrees weather. To me, actually, the only downside to knitting with handspun is that your beautiful skeins from the local yarn store, your souvenirs from on holiday, have to wait a little bit longer to get knit up because they aren't handspun. There just is two ways of filling your stash with beautiful yarns now, especially if you are knitter first. and then learned how to spin, well, you're not going to pass up on the beautiful yarns in the yarn store, are you? So, yeah, well, the handspun yarns always get priority for me. And that means that a lot of the pretty yarns that I bought, that I still think are very pretty, and I have so much ideas for them, always get put on the back burner because, oh no, I have new handspun, and handspun gets priority because I might have said this a dozen times before, and I hope you are not tired of hearing me say this, but there is just nothing like wearing a garment that you have made with handspun yarn. There is so much love in this garment, and like the sheep has grown the wool for you, the shearer has shorn the wool for you, and you have taken all that time and love to prepare the wool for spinning and then spun it and then knit it as well. I don't think there is a better feeling than wearing handspun garments. So yeah, store-bought yarns might get on the back burner a little bit, and honestly that is the one, only and true downside of working with your own handspun yarns. There is no other. All the rest is just big pluses. Did you see that? That was the final bit of the Shetland. The box is empty. I mean, there is only yarn in the box. No more fluff. Ah, yes! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to thank my husband for this accomplishment and all of you viewers who supported me through this Shetland fleece. Again, don't get me wrong, Shetland was absolutely lovely, but somehow I had it in my brain that I was going to finish it quickly and I would get to spin the Zartless like for 3/4 of Tour de Fleece. And right now I'm really happy that at least in the final week of Tour de Fleece, I will be able to get to spin the Zartless. I just jinxed Tour de Fleece for a little bit, like saying, oh, it will last me 3 days, it will last me a week. No! No! 2 weeks! Last year I was really spoiled with that Suffolk fleece just going like nothing. Yeah, I was spoiled. I was spoiled. Anyway, it is now 8:30 and I think that is a good time to end right here, start editing this vlog, and then tomorrow morning, bright and early, we can start plying our final skein of Shetland's yarn. I was careful not to interrupt the sacred silence of a Saturday morning, but apparently my neighbors think differently, so I'm just going to talk to the camera through his rockets. I'm sorry about the noise. Now, one of you wanted to know what is actually my biggest nightmare when it comes to crafting, and I couldn't pick mods or mold. And as a child, I have had so much nightmares about fire destroying my things. This is weird because it's very materialistic, but also it is not. I am someone who has a very emotional attachment to all of my stuff. I give my wheels names, right? They're like people to me almost. So yeah, my biggest nightmare would be a fire destroying the studio and with it destroying all my craft stuff, all the things that I have crafted. I think I would be utterly devastated. And I don't know where that fear of fire comes from, but I have had it ever since I was a child. Is that a very craft-related fear right now? No, but it, as crafting means so much to me, like my spinning and my knitting really does mean a lot, which I think you can see from all of my videos. That would be, for me, in material form, the worst things to lose in a fire are my craft stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Now, before anyone gets confused, it's not that we observe Saturday silence like in Belgium or something. Sunday silence, yes, that is like mandated, and you can get like a fine if you make obnoxious ruckus on a Sunday when it's not between 10 and 12. But I just wanted to say that the morning just felt so lovely and sacred to me. Like everything I heard were birds, and it should have stayed like that. It's 9:30 now. I've been plying for about 2 hours, but not enough. It's not done, and it's Saturday, so I'm going to go to my mom to hike. But that doesn't mean I need to stop plying, right? I can just take my wheel with me. I have a car. I can do that. Let's do that. See? I can do that. So now before we finish plying, let's first skein up this little turtle and see how many meters. Will I have 2 finished gains this video as well? That would be so nice. Did my irresponsible chaos behavior bite me in the butt, and now I have to make an entire plying gauntlet? Yes, it did. Not quite a game of bob and chicken, but I think this is the chunkiest bobbin that I spun during this tour. And we know I like 'em big, I like 'em chunky. Quite interested to know how many meters this actually is. So apparently not the biggest and the chunkiest. It's only 430 meters. And what does our puppy dog think of the yarns? No? You don't like him? Okay. Puppy. Got some questions about her for Tour de Fleece. People think that she's my dog, but no, she's my mom's dog. This is Sitka, although we call her mostly Mitty. Schmitty! Mitty! Nah, not interested. 4th skein. The entire Shetland fleece is done. And I also have 2 of the 3 bats of Mars's gift spun up. Finally starting to actually feel really good about my tour de fleece. Yeah. On Monday I can start spinning the Zartless. And this one Shetland fleece was good for approximately 1800 meters of yarn. That's enough for a sweater, I think. Yeah. I'm so glad I have this yarn now. It's amazing yarn. I love this yarn and I'm happy it's done. That's actually everything I have to say. It's amazing yarn. I loved the Shetland, but I'm also glad it is done. Like, it completely bamboozled me. It looked like such a small fleece that I would just spin through in a week, but then it took much longer than expected. Am I now also making it my mission to finish the 3rd bat that Mars sent me during Tour de Fleece? Of course I am. I am making it my entire personality, of course. I mean, it is just to complete this gradient, because I think it will fit right between these 2 skeins, and then I could make a really pretty gradient project. But of course, my 1800 meters are just peanuts in comparison to what Team Chaos Goblin has been spinning collectively. It surprises absolutely no one that we have passed the 100 kilometer mark, right? Right! And yeah, this much yards already. I am now going to prepare for the workshop I'll be going to tomorrow, and make sure that you can see this video tomorrow, and then we continue, of course. If you like these kind of fiber shenanigans or want to follow along with Tour de Fleece, you can like, comment or subscribe, but of course that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in a next video. But before we do that, if you haven't checked out the rest of Tour de Fleece, here it is. Bye bye. Bye bye.